So Donald Trump held this big press conference in the first floor of Trump Tower. It's where Melania lives. Melania refused to even go down the elevator to be by Donald Trump's side, as Donald Trump ranted and raved like a lunatic on Friday about why he claims or how he claims he didn't sexually assault various women. And he would mention different women. He started off talking about E. Jean Carroll, and then he said that E. Jean Carroll presented some photograph with her and him in the photo, but he says that could be AI images and that may not actually be them, but he doesn't know. And then he talked about another one of his victims, Jessica Leeds, who Donald Trump said that she wasn't pretty enough or attractive enough for him to want to sexually assault her, or words to those effects, saying that she's not his type. And then Donald Trump talking about another victim who he was alleged to have sexually assaulted at Mar-a-Lago. And then he said, this is an exact quote from him. He goes, "It's just such a very funny thing when you're rich like he is." He says, "People just make up all of these things about you." This was a meandering, bizarre, unhinged, misogynistic, just horrible press conference. And all the while, Melania was upstairs. Now, this isn't the first time that Melania has refused to be by Donald Trump's side. Frankly, this entire election cycle, other than showing up the last day at the Republican National Convention, where she refused to really even kiss him, and she was making faces pretty much the entire time, and other than another appearance that she made before the Log Cabin Republicans, which it turns out they paid her $274,000 to show up. Maybe one or two other times she's been around Donald, but she's really been MIA. So I want to highlight that. I want to share with you, though, again, just so you know that when I make these representations at the outset of the video, that everything I say is backed up by receipts. So here is Donald Trump just saying that one of the women who alleged that he sexually assaulted her, that he couldn't have done it because she's not his type, he says. Play this clip.
It couldn't have happened. It didn't happen. And she would not have been the chosen one. She would not have been the chosen one. She has gone around for years saying the story. Everywhere I go, she says this story. And it's a total lie. Now, I assume she'll sue me now for defamation, like I got sued by E. Jean Carroll.
And then here's Donald Trump talking about separately another victim who Donald Trump says she wrote a magazine article about him, so therefore he couldn't have sexually assaulted her. Play this clip.
And this one is a writer for People magazine, who I actually thought was very nice. She came to Mar-a-Lago, and she wrote the most beautiful story you've ever seen. It was a love story about Melania and myself, a love story in People magazine. And that was it. It was a cover, I think, but it was a beautiful story. Everybody would love to have that marriage. She said the nicest things about me, about Melania. You have the story. I mean, you can read the story. And her name was whoever. Let's see. Her name was who? Swornoff, yeah. I don't have it. Whatever her name was. I don't know the lady, so perhaps it's much better that way, but I really don't know the lady. So she wrote this beautiful story, and about, I don't know, years later, no police reports, no anything. Years later, the same person they called up, did you attack at Mar-a-Lago this woman, this writer, whatever her name is? And she was a witness in a case. Her and Leeds were the two witnesses, only two witnesses. Did you attack her? I said, who is she? And they said, she writes for People magazine. I said, I don't know anything about the lady. If I had a story long ago, years before, about People, but it was a very nice story. So I don't know. It has to be made up because I don't know what you're talking about. It turned out that the same lady that wrote this beautiful story years later said I attacked her.
And then here's what Donald Trump was saying about E. Jean Carroll. There's like dozens of clips like this from this press conference. I did a whole other video on it, so I'm not going to show you. He spent like 40 minutes defaming E. Jean Carroll over and over again. But I'll just play this clip for you so you can get a sense of the type of things that he was saying. Play this clip.
I wanted to show up to the trial, to the first trial. My lawyer, who's not up here, not with us any longer, sir, you should not show up. You're the former president or the president. I don't even know when the trial was, but you're the president of the United States, sir. This is beneath you. I've got this 100%. The dress is negative, but he wasn't able to use it. Sir, it's beneath you to show up. I said, but wouldn't that be bad for a jury? Wouldn't that be sort of bad for a jury if I don't show up? He said, sir, you don't have to show up. I've got this. You shouldn't do it. It's beneath you. It's beneath the office of the president. I understood what he meant by that. And so I didn't show up. And I was found guilty.
As a kid, I loved eating cereal, but as an adult, I don't want all that sugar, and most cereals don't give me the protein I need. Then I found Magic Spoon, a nostalgically delicious cereal that tastes just like my childhood favorites, but without the sugar and with a ton of protein. And if you're already a Magic Spoon fan like I am, I have big news. Magic Spoon has turned their super popular cereal into high-protein treats that are light, crispy, and taste just like those classic crunchy cereal bars. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are so delicious and have already become my favorite before and after gym snack. Every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs, so you can feel good about what you are eating. The most popular flavors are fruity and cocoa, and there's so many more. I love the cocoa ones. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 11 grams of protein on the go. And for the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolate peanut butter, chocolatey peanut butter. I personally love Magic Spoon's chocolatey peanut butter treats. I have one every morning to start the day off on the right foot, and I know you will love it as well. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/Meidas or look for Magic Spoon in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/Meidas, MEIDAS, for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream. magicspoon.com/Meidas. So Donald Trump was doing that essentially from like the lobby of his home while Melania was upstairs, while his son Barron lives in that building as well. His son Barron's going to NYU. It's curious also though, right? Barron's going to NYU. Hasn't Donald Trump said that everybody's leaving New York and New York's a piece of crap and the city's the worst place and it's a war zone and it's World War III and there's nothing worse than New York, right? Hasn't Donald Trump said that here? Like, here's an example of him saying that. Play this clip.
New York City is a violent city. It's become violent with the cashless bail. I'm the only one that has to put up bail. So I just want to tell you that the case is going fine.
I could show you thousands of other, like literally thousands of other clips of Trump saying that. But so you're sending your son to in a school in New York City when you say it's the worst place and everybody's fleeing there. Oh, it's interesting. Interesting. Well, let me show you this other clip here of Melania. And here's Melania at Mar-a-Lago refusing to show up and be around Donald Trump. I've showed you this clip before. I think it's worth reflecting on in light of Donald Trump's bizarre press conference that he held in Trump Tower on Friday. But here Donald Trump tries to get Melania to leave her room at Mar-a-Lago by trying to give her some award. And the award is like a fake award for helping the kids. They give her the Helping Kids Award and she refuses to show up. So Donald Trump accepts the fake award in her honor. Remember this? Here, play this clip.
On board. We want to take this opportunity. I know my First Lady couldn't get here, but we want to give Melania Trump the Child Advocacy Award because she said she did so much for children when she was First Lady. So, sir, this is for Melania's certificate. Please make Chancellor.
And I've given you the history of Donald Trump and Melania before. It's worth mentioning again as she's trying to sell a book that looks like an AI image, but she's claiming that it's a book that's that's for sale. You know, the way Melania met Donald was there was a guy named Paolo Zampoli. You may have heard me tell the story before. A guy named Paolo Zampoli ran a modeling agency, calls it a modeling agency, in the United States of America. And he would bring in young Eastern European women to America as his models. They would show up, and then he would throw these parties. He was known for throwing lavish parties at the Kit Kat Club in Manhattan. And then he would introduce wealthy Manhattan businessmen, rich guys, to the young Eastern European women. And he played matchmaker for Donald Trump and Melania, and her visa was expedited. She got an Einstein visa where she was viewed as having all of these incredible talents and skills, even though she doesn't have any, but her process was expedited. And then she brought her parents in, and then she and Donald Trump railed against what they called anchor babies and all of these things, and anchor family members, and all this stuff that they themselves engaged in, and they gave it disparaging terms. And, you know, I think it's just important to highlight this mess. It goes to Donald Trump's, the fact that he's just, every aspect is a living, breathing fraud. You know, the whole relationship with Melania is a very strange thing and a contrived thing to begin with. We've had Stephanie Winston Wolkoff on our network, and she describes the relationship not just as transactional in nature. She describes it like a transactional criminal enterprise, was words to those effect that she used. She goes, I think Melania is complicit in a lot of the things that, that they do. And ultimately, I think it's an important story to highlight because it also shows you the media complicity and the sane washing that they try to do here, right? They post all of these articles and act like this Melania Trump thing is normal. Could you imagine if on the Democratic side you had somebody who was, let's just say a guy, imagine former President Barack Obama had children with 3 different ladies. Imagine one of the ladies was buried in his backyard the way Donald Trump buried Ivana. Remember, Ivana accused Donald Trump, or had made statements to the effect of saying that Donald Trump raped her. And then she took back the language. She said that when she accused him of rape, she didn't mean it as literal rape. She meant it as like figurative. I don't know what she's talking about. When she said it in a deposition. So she says that it was actually not that, but she wouldn't talk further because her lawyers and Trump's lawyers got involved. But just imagine if we're talking about anybody else here. Like, what are we even talking about? You know, here. So you have her. She's buried in the back lot in the swampy area of Bedminster, Donald Trump's golf course. You have Melania right now selling like military NFTs and like grifting off of like images of our military members and service members, and she's selling images of the military for $150. Could you just imagine if this was anybody else? It's just bizarre that this whole thing exists and that he's held to this very different standard by the media, but we don't hold him to a different standard here. I mean, that's why we will continue to flag this here on the MeidasTouch Network together. So hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.